You should be very happy that a personal brand does not have the ability to be taken over by AI, because it's going to be the only reason you're not going to go back to door knocking.
We need to really take advantage of the fact that we're not working these 9-to-5s, but like we actually have the ability to build the business that we want.
Just saying like, here's a summer market update for Louisville. You can't even say that without wanting to throw up.
How do I get more leads?
How do I stand out in my market?
Is it unprofessional to talk about my kids on Instagram?
Should I have one account or two?
Do I really need a personal brand as a real estate agent?
We are the Modern Agent Marketing Girls. We are 2 agents turned marketing experts who believe you can become the go-to real estate girl in your market, all because you are you. I'm Chelsea Peterson, founder and CEO of Modern Agent Social Club.
And I'm Kayla Fox, Modern Agent's content creator. Let us be your guide as we talk about what it means to market your real estate business the modern way.
So refill your favorite beverage, open your notes app, and get ready to build a business and a brand you're obsessed with. Let's go. Welcome to your Marketing Girls Summer. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, marketing girls. It is officially, well, not officially summer, but in our world, it's summer. We're so excited.
It's pool season, boat season, Blackstone season. We finally just got a Blackstone. I feel so late to the game. So we're at the hardware store. We're like, okay, we're having friends over that day. It was 82. And we're like, okay, it's summer. Summer is officially here. We need like a blow up pool, a sprinkler, and a Blackstone. So we go to the, not hardware store, it was Fleet Farm. And I stayed in the car because I was like finishing work stuff, and Mark took Henry in. And he said literally 7 people were said something to him about the Blackstone, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it, or you don't have one yet, or you got to get this tool, or whatever the thing might be. So this is our version of the Blackstone.
Of the Blackstone.
Marketing Girl Summer. You've got to do it. You've got to have it. You've got to get your mind there, and you've got to create content that people are going to remember. The content that sticks in their brain.
Yes. Chelsea, if you were still selling real estate full time and you were going into summer, what are like things that oh, I would definitely share stuff about this, or I would definitely document this? What do you do that you would incorporate?
I love my summer local events. I've heard this said before that Wisconsin, because our summers, we have really good weather for the most part, knock on wood, in the summer. And it's almost like a destination during the summer season. So it feels like not look-wise, but like Nantucket, or like this place you go in the summer because we have lakes and we have so many fun events, and everyone is just like on this summer high because it's a Wisconsin summer. It's like the boating and like the bonfires and hiking and going to like the destinations that are summery. So it's like all of those things, like having cookouts. We have our pool at the farm. So I would definitely be like all in on just how I live my life at home in summer, because it's home. But then you have the local aspect. So we have our Stonebank farm. Nights on the farm is my favorite thing. Our weekend beer gardens and the Oconomowoc little like downtown on the green. So like those are my go-to weekend things. And then there's like Summerfest. I don't always go to Summerfest. I am going this year because we're going to a concert. So like I would just like immerse myself in a Wisconsin summer and document it, but then I would weave the real estate in. Like we teach this to our members. We teach it at camp. I know you've heard it on this podcast, the content some more. So you have the graham cracker is your real estate. You have the marshmallow is your personality. And then the chocolate is local. Like there is never a better time than summer to lean into that content some more. You can't forget about real estate. Like I can't become a Wisconsin summer account, but you can pair it with real estate and lean in. Like even thinking lifestyle of real estate, or lifestyle of the home you're selling. So like the lifestyle angle to real estate in summer, neighborhoods, home features, like nearby events, what's happening in the communities. There's just like a never ending fire hose of content.
You know, like as you were saying that, I'm literally thinking, oh my gosh, if I had a listing in the summer, I would get like a big thing of like vanilla ice cream and set up these like cute glasses and just like take content, scooping ice cream into these dishes, putting some sprinkles on them, putting a cherry on top, like just like that tray of like summer is served, like summer is here, but it's in the kitchen that you could be in. Like it makes you picture like what life would be like in that house. And people that are local know what it feels like outside. They know what it feels like to be in your community and all of that. I feel like that it's just like so I love summer. Summer's my favorite, so I like get giddy about it. But that is like the epitome of like a summer evening in my town, you know?
Or even like a listing. You could go down a rabbit hole of ideas, but like pick the one feature that is the most summery feature and like lean into it. Like we were talking, this was on our camp call, but we were talking about the COAST method. And I don't think we've ever talked about it on the podcast, but the COAST method is COAST, and it stands for, could other agents share this? And if the answer is yes, change something about it. If the answer is no, then it passed the filter, it passed the test. And so when you think about your listings, like we want it to be professional, we want it to look so good. And what if instead of just hiring the fancy camera guy to come and take this really beautiful tour of the home, like that looks like it should be on a luxury real estate Facebook or Instagram account, not really on your account. And instead you put yourself in there and you put yourself in there making lemonade and pouring it in cute glasses or scooping the ice cream into the cups, like you just said, with the sprinkles and the cherry. Like, think of the specificity of that visual and how people will remember that, because we remember things we can picture. We remember things that we can see or attach to a visual. In fact, I will prove it to you. So during the camp that we are hosting as we record this, actually, we have our camp attendees record a video sharing their biggest takeaway from that day. Number one, it helps them get on camera. Number two, it helps reinforce in their mind, like, this is what I learned and what I'm going to take away from this. And then three, it helps us know, like, what do we need to go heavier on? What's really clicking? Like, all the things. But anyways, my point of this is, it time and time again, the things that they will repeat had something to do with a visual that we shared. So this is
Yeah.
like, I gave a triangle drawing and related it to something. People remembered the triangle. We talked about the COAST method. People remembered the COAST method. It's an acronym. They could picture it. It stands for something. We talked about the s'more. You can picture a s'more. You can literally attach each layer to the things we're talking about. So it's very memorable. So when you think about summer and visuals and listings and you want content people really remember and want to come back and see more of, or like they think of you when they are out at that barbecue or graduation party or at the event on Friday night downtown, like they think of you when one of those things maybe comes up again. Like they saw your listing video scooping ice cream. They're at the beer garden and their kid says, I want ice cream. They're like, oh, Chelsea had a listing video and she was scooping. Like,
Yes.
you can't help but be living rent free in their brain. And that
Yeah.
is what you can leverage summer to do. Like, summer is the season where your personal brand fully can do the work for you.
Like, what a relief, right? And you can really lean into the whole idea of like documenting over creating, especially if you do, like, if you have kids that are usually in school and they're home and you're kind of like frazzled because you're like, how do I balance all of this? Good news, you do not have to like coordinate this whole thing or even like schedule all your content and prepare all, like, you can literally like live in the moment, be present, document your life, and then like tie it into things that you're already sharing or things that your people like to hear from you. And then you're like good to go. You're top of mind, but you're still present in your own life and your own family, enjoying what you like to do. So like that's always the struggle though. Like I feel like we can say that so easily as we're sitting here while my kids are still in school and your son's being watched right now by your husband. So like, but what does this actually look like when you're trying to work, but you have a toddler at home, right? I've got older kids at home. Like how can we actually still get work done, still meet with our clients, still work on our marketing and try to enjoy a little bit of the summer. I think it can be challenging.
Okay, I have this girl who I follow on Instagram, and this just popped in my head as you're saying that. Her whole thing right now is parenting from a patio chair. So, like, how many mom accounts or parent accounts or accounts that give like toddler, you're probably not following toddler anymore, but toddler activity ideas or kid activity
Mhm.
ideas, summer things to do with your kids. This is the only one I could like that would pop in my head to say out loud because she branded it to parenting from a patio chair. It's Masara Martinez is her handle. But isn't that cute? Like, so
Yes.
I like my brain is exploding with ideas for here's what you need this summer. You need a repeatable style of content and a repeatable series of content. So when I say style, it could be, okay, every Tuesday I'm recording a reel in this setting, and then I'm going to talk about real estate, but I'm going to like infuse my personality. So like real estate from my sun porch, real estate from
Mhm.
poolside, or real estate from the boat or whatever. And it doesn't mean you're not working. It just means like this is where you're going to find me when I'm not
Yeah.
working. Like it's
Yeah.
pairing the two together. Real estate from a patio chair, and it's just you behind the scenes of like what's happening this summer, right? Like how much more does that stick in the head of the brain of someone than just saying like, here's a summer market update for Louisville.
Right.
I can't even say that with like out wanting to throw up.
Right? Yes. I know. It's like we take ourselves too seriously. And I don't know why we like buy this lie that like when people get on Instagram and they see a realtor, this is what they want to see. I mean, I took a screenshot earlier today. I haven't even shown you this, but I took a screenshot earlier today of someone who was like, here's all the content that I make for realtors. And I'm like, all of that looks, first of all, exactly the same. And I can tell you right now that my friends in my life, even if I posted that, not one of them would click on that or try to like continue to swipe through that carousel. Like as beautiful as it is, but like we hide ourselves behind these graphics and behind this like facade of like this is what realtors are supposed to do, when the truth is like we are real people doing like real things. All of us, like even as you're describing your summer and my summer are going to look different, right? Like I've got the kids home, all the neighbor kids are running in and out of the house, going to the neighbor's pool, going to my parents' pool, driving around in the Jeep. Like it's so different, but it's fun. Like that's what makes it fun to like see, kind of like live vicariously through other people. To hide behind a graphic and to hide behind this like buttoned up version of yourself is really a giant shame to all the people who know you and love you and who would be like happy to refer you to somebody if they would remember that you are still selling real estate and that you are like it's just staying top of mind. You know, it's not going to happen if you're posting like market updates or summer market whatever or like current interest rates. It's like snooze fest, man.
You know, the problem is the industry teaches agents to focus on two things. They teach you to focus on professionalism, which is very important, but we have to remember professionalism and personality are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
No one wants to no one wants to hire a stiff robot. They want to hire someone who understands the situation they're in, who can emotionally connect with them where they're at, who meets them where they're at and helps guide them through the process. Like you are actually someone's guide as a real estate agent. You are
Mhm.
not this like, billboard name tag wearing, I sold this many houses. Like if you lead with that or you're reliant on that, that is not attractive to someone, right? But the industry teaches us professionalism. And then the second thing is to generate leads. And it completely forgets that they're confusing professionalism with blending in. So, like, you want to be professional, but then you want to sell more houses, but then you're blending in, which is preventing you from selling more houses. Like, it's like a cause and effect.
Right.
And along with the lead gen, you're so focused on looking for leads everywhere that you're not nurturing or building your own community of people who trust you, who like you, who want to come back again and again. I'm going to explain my conversion triangle. So I could do a whole episode on this. So like DM us if you want this, but picture a triangle, and in the middle of the triangle is the word conversion. So like I'm going to draw this for our not existent YouTube. So like conversion is in the middle. We're going to be back at YouTube eventually. The middle of the triangle. And all of us obsess over like, how do I convert? How do I get the leads? How do I get the leads? How do I get the clients? How are they going to come to me? And we negate everything that actually causes someone to get inside the triangle. So the 3 points of the triangle are what you put together that get you to the conversion inside the triangle. The top of the triangle is connection. If you are going to get someone to even remember you sell real estate, you have to connect in some way, right? Something they relate to, something that they're going to remember later when they're out at dinner or they're at the pool or they're with their kids and other mom friends, like something they're going to
Yeah.
remember, a connection. So that could be that you're a mom. It could be that you live in the same neighborhood. It could be that you both love your community, that you get ice cream at the same place every Friday. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but like something they can see themselves in. The next one is conversation. The connection leads to conversation. So you're sharing things that they feel like they can see themselves in, that they connect to. Your content is saying, like, yeah, this is for you too. It's not just like a billboard or a graphic saying interest rates are X or whatever. Like, so then the connection leads to the conversation. And then through all these conversations and connection, you inevitably build a community. I'm not even spelling these right because I'm rushing. You build a community. And when I say build a community, you're literally building a community around your brand. So people who become essentially like loyal to you, they are the ones that are like, they're going to say your name no matter what if someone brings up real estate. They're going to, like, if you can build a community of even only 10 people who are always saying your name, will always refer you to their friends when real estate comes up, like, you'll have enough business for the rest of your life. But we focus so much on like, but how do we convert? I just need to shout from the rooftops that like I can help you buy or sell. But then we are literally telling all these people who we have the opportunity to connect with, have conversations with, and build community with and get referrals from. We're literally telling them through that. We're saying, like, don't look at this. This isn't for you. Only stop here if you're ready to buy or sell. And we're missing this massive opportunity to build relationships, to be like locally famous, if you want to call it that. Like, where you get to the coffee shop and they know you, they know your order. You get to the boutique and they are like, hey, Chelsea, how are you? Like, I
Right.
saw what you posted on Instagram. Like, if you want that kind of life where you're recognizable both online and in your community, not famous on Instagram, but in your community, you have to like really lean into those things. And like, what better time to do this than summer?
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me so much of my first year in real estate. I was kind of doing that same thing. And I had gone into a local store and just started talking with the woman who owned the store. And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, like I love you, la 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 la." And like every time I would go in there, we would talk more. Well, then one day she texted me and said, "Hey, could you list our house?" Now, spoiler alert, they didn't end up moving. Something came up in their life and they didn't move, but they had an $800,000 house. And it was literally like just me talking to her at the store because I like to go shopping there and like buy some plants or whatever. That's what made her be like, I like her and I trust her. And like she gave my name out to so many people, but like I was just shopping. What a great marketing strategy. Like that's something that no graphic is ever going to do for me. You know what I mean? So yeah, finding those little points of connection. And that's so cool. Like that whole triangle, like it keeps going back and forth and back and forth. Like all of those things connect to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that if you can kind of keep that visual in mind, because here's the deal, like, it's tempting to believe that, like, no one cares where I'm getting ice cream, or no one cares that I'm going to the pool, or no one cares that I am, serving popsicles at this open house or whatever. But when you look at that triangle and you see that that's only one part of the whole thing, but that's a necessary part, then you see the need for it, and then you understand, like, the bigger picture, and then it'll all start to come together for you.
I want to share the unlock to how do you go from, okay, so you had these conversations, you meet these people. How do you then get them to even know you sell real estate or to remember you sell real estate? This is the power of the combination of when you are actually social and you are part of your community, but then you put it online. Like, if you've ever thought, like, I don't really have a lot of business right now, I don't really know what to put on Instagram, I don't really know what to share. Like, all you have to do is schedule a coffee date with yourself, even, or an ice cream date, or I'm going to go buy a few things for my summer wardrobe. You're going to commit to doing something in person. I'm going to go to that event on Friday and invite one of my friends. And now you have content because now you
Yeah.
can document while you're there. You can tag the store. You can, like, you could create a piece of content about it. Now, I feel like the old way of doing this was like, I'm going to go take this video and I'm going to be like, where to shop in Lake Country. And I'm going to highlight this one store and everything about it. That is the outdated way of local. It's even easier now. Like, it's actually so fun. It's when you pair that with real estate. So you're somehow connecting the two together where it's like, oh, she's a local realtor who shops here. So it's not that
Right.
you're like highlighting in an individual post every local spot or store or restaurant or ice cream shop, but it's like, Fridays as a real estate girl who lives in Lake
Mhm.
Country.
Yeah.
And you
Summer
swipe one
Fridays.
side over, and it's like, we
Yes.
get ice cream here, swipe one side over. We always are at Stone Bank, Night on the Farm, swipe one side over. You'll probably find me showing houses in area. Yeah. Or neighborhood or what. Post done, right? How easy is that? And no one else can post it. It checks the coast filter box because no one else can share what you do on Friday night or what event you go to or the neighborhood you're literally showing houses. And this could be a car selfie. You don't need
Yep.
a picture of every house. You don't need to have footage of every home you show. To be honest, most of the houses we're showing aren't that like aesthetically pleasing
No.
anyways. Not where I
No.
live anyways. They're all like 90s oak and I don't know what builder
Yep.
completely blew up in that time period and covered them all, but still the same. Anyways, my point is that we don't need to be creating so much content. We just need to lean into what is our life. I recently heard this quote that said, "Your brand becomes a place you live, not a thing you keep tinkering with." It's from Mello from About Mondays. That is it. Like it's a place you live. We're not looking like I have to go set up this tripod. I mean, sometimes you will. I have to go set up this tripod and like create these crazy videos or hire these videographers. Like you just have to open your camera app.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know people are listening to this saying to themselves, but you don't understand. Like when I wake up, like my kids are already running around and it's like hot mess summer vibes over here. Okay. And we all have our days, right? But there's so much power in, first of all, just simply taking yourself seriously, deciding, you know what, I might have kids yelling in the background, or I might have to be working from the pool, or I might just be hot and sweaty from showing houses all day. I don't want to get on camera. Like I feel disgusting. But if you are still committed to getting up in the morning and moving your body somehow, whether you're going for a walk or you're doing yoga or just stretching or going for like whatever, and then you take a shower and you actually get ready, even if you don't have plans to go show houses somewhere or you're not meeting clients, get ready every single day. And if you do that, as inspiration comes, or if something comes up where someone stops over and says like, hey, do you want to go to the park here with us? Or do you want to go check out this place? And gosh, last summer we went to this like lake place and we had to get on my friend's boat and we drove like 30 minutes across the lake to go to this like cool, it was the funnest restaurant ever. Like we had a blast, but I'm like, it was really a last minute decision, but I was already dressed and ready for the day. So we just hopped on. We had a great time, but I'm like, oh my gosh, if I would have not showered, if I would have just been a hot mess the whole time, I probably would have said no. You know what I mean? And we miss out on opportunities. When we just count ourselves out, when we just wake up in the morning and assume today's not the day something will happen for me, we miss a lot of opportunities doing that. So like shift your mindset from like hot mess express summer to literally like marketing girl summer. And I think that you'll see a lot more opportunity that you can actually like jump up and take advantage of.
You have to either you're either going to look for an exit ramp, like I'm looking for the way to get out of this. I'm going to look for the excuse. Here's the reason why, and you can list them all off. Kids are home, sweaty, not ready, all the things. Or you're going to look for, what would be the opposite? A gas station to fuel up and keep going. Like you're going to pick one or the other. And the people who are going to start fall with a pipeline full of clients and people telling their friends about them, they're not looking for an exit ramp. They're making it work for them. And how many times, like even me, like I feel like I do get ready every morning, but like there's been so many times where I like get an idea and I'm inspired and then you'll be like, well, I'm not really ready.
Yep.
You know?
All the time.
When you get ready every day, you can whip that phone out and record what happened, tell the story. You have to treat it like I'm doing this as a service to someone because when they do have something happen in their life and they have to move, whether it's good, bad, exciting, whatever, if you want to be the person they're coming to, like they're never going to think of you if you are not visible, right? Like you have to be visible and intentional with it, not just like checking a box. That's not visible. That's going to be, what do I call it? You're consistently, when you're consistent in the wrong direction, it just becomes like stagnant, like sitting water. Like think of like we were in Florida and Henry, like we're getting ice cream and all of a sudden he's playing with his trucks on the ground and it's like this huge puddle. I don't know what it was because it did not rain. And I was like, Mark, what is that? And he's like, I don't know, Henry, get out of there. Whatever. I'm like, that's what I picture. Like you're stagnant. You're just sitting in this like maybe even your feed looks
murky water.
good.
Yeah.
But like putting your picture behind a generic post about real estate is not personal branding.
Yeah.
Can I get a megaphone? You
have
to
hold
do
on.
more.
Will you say that again?
Putting your photo behind a generic post about real estate is not personal branding. We have
we
new features
we
in our
got new
recording studio.
features, so we're gonna incorporate some little some little sound effects once in a while.
But
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
literally like summer is the window, even if you have a personal brand. I'm sure a lot of you listening do because that's why you're listening. But like, it's like, have fun with it this summer. Like, take yourself a little less seriously, be a little less filtered. I hear all the time people will say, like, we crave raw, real, unfiltered content. But then when we go to create content, we like way overly filter it and then it sounds like a robot. It's like, why would anyone want to read this or consume this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that you have to loosen up a little bit. I do think though that you cannot have the mindset that you take summers off. And that's I will tell you from experience that's really difficult to do when I have 4 kids and a teacher husband who have the summer off. I have to remind them all the time like I'm still working, like I'm still getting stuff done. But if you adapt the mindset that like you do work every day even if your calendar is clear that you work every day because here's the deal like even if let's say that you literally don't meet with clients and that you really don't even have like content to shoot for and you're just kind of putzing around, whatever. Even just running to the grocery store, or if you like, I take my kids to like our movie theater a lot this summer, they do like a free movie thing. You run into people everywhere you go. And like, even if you don't even talk with them about real estate or whatever, if you are dressed in a way that looks as if you could have met with clients, they will assume you are meeting with clients. I told this story a couple episodes ago, maybe even a couple months ago, but how soon after I got my license, it was summertime and my I think it was my son that was doing like a basketball camp at the high school. And I noticed for 2 weeks, every time that I would wear like more like professional type clothing as if I was meeting with a client and I would show up there, someone would ask me how it's going in real estate. Like, are you meeting with clients yet? Are you like, how's the market? Are you showing houses? Are you whatever? But when I would show up just in like my leggings and a tank top or whatever, like every other mom there, no one asked me about it. And I just thought like there's so much power in the way that you show up and present yourself. So in the summer, I mean, I don't know about you, like when it's hot, I love wearing like just sundresses or like whatever. Even today, like I'm wearing like shorts that are like look like a skirt almost, but they're just like little Amazon shorts and a t-shirt. But it still looks presentable enough that yes, I could be meeting with clients or I could be doing a training or I could be whatever. And people do notice that when you walk into a room, like you command attention and you command respect just by the way that you are presenting yourself. So even if you're going to the pool or if you're not really doing much wherever, like take a little bit of pride in the way that you appear because and you don't have to like become this like hot supermodel mom, but you just have to take a little bit of pride in what you wear and like how you present yourself. And I think that the conversation like it's kind of like even if people aren't running up to you to have those conversations, you're going to see more opportunities even for you to bring it up. And then you could start talking with someone about real estate or just reminding them that you're an agent anyway. We talk about personal branding all the time, but maybe that sounds complicated. But what if I told you you could have a personal brand by Friday?
We're giving you a simple week-long plan with clear action steps to follow Monday through Friday, so by the end of the week, you have everything you need to start standing out in your market.
Click the link in the show notes to grab your Personal Brand by Friday guide so you can get started today.
You have to make an appointment with yourself. Like, make an appointment with yourself once a day. If you can do that in the summer, even if it's for 5 minutes, now that might be getting ready in the morning so that you feel ready. And it's going to be recording an Instagram story on your camera or face to cam every day for the month of June. It doesn't have to be that either, but like it's going to give you enough of a push that you're not going to go stagnant. You're not going to go to the stagnant water. The longer you like resist it or like, you take a couple weeks off because summer starts, you get really busy. It is so easy to let that turn into 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And now kids are going back to school or summer's over. I don't have kids in school, so I don't have that
Yeah.
relation. I have childcare most of summer. But like you get that feeling of like, oh my gosh, and you start panicking because you just let the whole summer go by without showing up. You became like stagnant water and no one's coming to hang out in stagnant water unless it's a
Right.
pool with a fountain.
Yeah.
So you have to think of that, like make an appointment with yourself. Like, what's it going to be? Maybe even it's journaling and you're going to journal. This is what I want people to feel when they come to my account. This is what I want someone to tell their friends that they would get if they followed me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Like, start thinking about that. Like, what do you want that answer to be? Because you probably
Mhm.
don't want it to be like stiff, generic, boring, don't bother, like,
Yeah.
or indifference. Doesn't matter if you follow them or not. I don't ever see any, you know what I mean? Like, what would you want someone to say? And this isn't to be an influencer, it's to be a respected professional. Because I'm telling you, the modern top producer has a personal brand. The current day top producers either built their business before social media was an option, definitely before AI was an option, or they're living a life that most of us really don't want to live. Like, have you ever heard that quote, like, I don't want to take advice from someone whose life I wouldn't want?
Right.
Back when I first got my license, I looked around at who the top producers were. They were super crabby, stressed out, worked all the time, always complained they had no weekends available, no fr I'm like in like horror inside.
Right.
Like
And
I
all for what?
I
What's the
didn't
point?
this isn't why I'm doing this. Like, so I can
No.
drive a Mercedes? Like, what? You can be a top producer without doing any of that. I'm going to prove them wrong or whatever. So, like, it's so true. Like, top producers in this day and age have a personal brand. They do. And it
Yeah.
will not be long before that is, like, fully the case. Even if you're currently, like, I don't know, I wanna think about, like, someone who's been in the business for 30 years. Maybe by then they'll retire, I guess, maybe, by the
Mhm.
time this, it's no longer an option. But, like, if you wanna show up, if you want the kinda life that most people don't have, like, you want the freedom, you want the wealth, you want the ability to do things with your kids, to have your kids come home and be like the house everyone hangs out at and
Mhm.
comes to get pizza, and you're not worried about, like, "Well, I'm not gonna be there because I gotta go meet these Zillow leads, and I'm gonna be gone, and your dad's gone," and
What a
whatever, like,
nightmare. Yeah.
right, like, you wanna be there this summer, and yes, you're gonna have appointments, and yes, you're gonna have things you have to do, but, like, the majority of you is there because you're getting referrals from people that know you already. They're already sold on you. You're not convincing them. You're not wasting your time with people who could care less about you, right? You're just a means to a house or a means to a whatever. Like, you're attracting better business because of it. So you have more time with your family. So now your kids are at their own house this summer, jumping in the blow up pool or real pool, eating pizza, like hanging with their friends. You have an eye on them. They feel safe. They feel like loved. Like, a personal brand, we could talk about all day long, every single day
Mhm.
of my for the rest of my life, what it will do for you as a human. It is not about content. It is not about reels. It is not about trends. It is not about anything fluffy. It is not about oh God, about the algorithm. No one cares.
Right. Exactly.
We care that you are showing up as the person that someone feels like comfortable with, and that you are their person, and that you're gonna take them seriously. You're gonna be absolutely professional, but they can actually feel like they know you through social media. You're not hiding behind a graphic. You're not hiding behind a just sold. Top producers today, or like the ones of, I guess, the past, essentially, they're posting just listed, just sold, open house because they don't know what to do, and they built their business a long time ago. And things could really change for them if they keep going down that path and they plan on being in business for another 20 or 30 years. They could really change as time goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you have to be payoff focused in all seasons, but definitely in seasons where there's a lot of distraction and there's a lot of just like everyone's moving at a different pace, I feel like in the summer. I shared this example at camp, but I had this like AI tool created so that I could submit all of my recipes, our family schedule, our likes, our dislikes, where we shop, all of the things. And it created this like meal plan for us that went as far as to even like add the groceries I needed to my Instacart cart. So that all I had to do was like check out and then I'd go implement from there. And I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just figured this out." Like I feel like this is like this like next level of life unlocked, right? But I remember like a week went by and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even check out. Like I didn't end up doing that." And now my kids are asking me what's for dinner and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And I think I put in like a frozen pizza or something and it was just kind of a chaotic night. And that night I was like, "No, this isn't going to work if I don't work it, right? So I need to actually like check the groceries out and then like write it on the calendar what days I'm making what meals and actually like implement the whole thing." And what I said at camp was like, what happened was not only did I have my meals planned, which is what people focus on, right? Like I want to know what content to post. I want to get things scheduled. But the payoff of that is that that night we sat down, we all sat around for dinner. I've got like a middle schooler, a fourth grader, a second grader, and a first grader, and my husband. We all sat around And we were just sharing, like, what was your high today? What was your low today? What was this? What was that? As we were talking, I'm sitting there thinking, this is why we do what we do. Because personal branding, when you have a business or when you have the tools that are working for you, and then when you actually work those tools and implement them, you get the payoff that you want. And for me, it wasn't just that I knew what to make for dinner. That was just like surface level, right? What I really want is I want a middle schooler who knows that, like, we are his people, and that he doesn't have to hide anything from us, and that his friends are welcome here, and that I mean, gosh, I didn't even tell you that we got him a phone because of some like babysitting stuff. And everyone's like, oh, it's such a struggle. This kid, his average screen time is 25 minutes a day because he knows that that's not what we do. And he knows he would rather like go hang out with his friends or come play with us or get his brother out in the yard to play football. Like those were our priorities. And like, we're experiencing the payoff of that, you know? And like my other kids are like growing up the same way. So like it is, if when I focus, like when I think about like, oh, I got to make dinner every night and I got to always order the groceries and then I need to make the meat. And when I do all of that, it feels so daunting. But when I think about the payoff of like, I'm going to have kids who invite their friends over for dinner because they like sitting around, and afterwards we play cards and do all of those things. Not like we're some like, you know, fairy tale family, but like that's the reality here and that's the payoff. So all of you that are listening right now, as you are thinking about like, do I hire help this summer? Or like, do I take some time off? Or do I get an assistant? Or do I get a babysitter? Or do I get Instacart or whatever to like get some tools and support in place to support you? Don't think about it as like, oh, it's going to cost this much, or it's going to, you know, I'm going to have to do this. Like, think about like, this is what will allow me to stay top of mind in my community, to continue to sell houses at this rate that I want to, and get to spend time with my family or go on that vacation or do the things I really want to do this summer. You have to think about the payoff.
I heard someone say recently, I don't like cooking. I like providing nourishing meals for my family. And I was like, yes. And that's everything. It's like not even about the tool, or even if you outsource your meals to get them made for you. I mean, like, it's not really about that. It's about the payoff of the tool, the payoff that the tool provides. That's why we say we're not a content membership. We're the go-to personal brand training platform for agents, because the content is just a tool that gets you to build the personal brand. There is no method on earth that's like, this content is fully done for you and it will build you the business of your dreams and life of your dreams. That is not something that exists. AI, not with anything. You should be very happy that a personal brand does not have the ability to be taken over by AI, because it's
Yeah.
going to be the only reason you're not going to go back to door knocking. I will say that with all of my belief. That is the reason you're going to be able to be the one people think of. So like, even when you think of like, I don't like putting my face on camera, you flip it and you say, I like getting referrals from people who trust me instead of
Yes.
cold leads. Like, flip any thought you have. I don't like Facebook ads, but I like 10xing the amount of people we reach on
Yeah.
without doing anything except paying for the ad and designing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like a lot of things, but when you flip it into like, wait, what's the payoff of this? I'm actually going to get good at it. And when I get good at it, it's going to actually be way, way, way easier. And it's actually going to turn fun. And now I'm doing something that's fun and it's growing my
Right.
business and giving me the life I want.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
think of that. Like, I would challenge you, if you struggle with any of this, like, get out a piece of paper when this episode ends and write down all the things you don't like to do. What's it called? Like a brain drain, when you're like, just get all this garbage out of here, write down all the things you don't want to do, but then go back and flip each one over. And maybe like, I don't like door knocking. Okay, I also don't like trying to persuade strangers, persuade.
Strangers. I don't like
I also
strangers.
don't like persuading strangers to open their door and talk to me at dinner
Right.
time. So like, yeah, we'll cross that one off, okay? So like, that's how you can decide if like the payoff from the thing you don't like, you also don't like, then cool. You're allowed to move on, right? But if the payoff from the thing you maybe feel like, oh, I don't have time or I don't want to do it or whatever, does pay off, then you might want to rethink it, right? I wrote this down for this episode. What is the cost of inaction?
Mhm.
What is the cost of your inaction? So if you're waiting for something, waiting for a closing, waiting for summer to be over, waiting for your husband to stop traveling for work, like what you're waiting for something, but what could you do now so that when that thing does happen, you're like 30 steps closer to that thing?
Right, you can reach your goals so much faster. If we wanted excuses, all of us have them. Like, all of us have limitations, all of us have reasons that now is not a good time. I mean, gosh, we were just talking before this call, like, we've got a lot going on right now. Like, now would be a good time for us to say, "You know what? Let's pause the podcast for a little bit and let's get these other things done." But no, when our ultimate goal is to reach more agents than to position ourselves as a help so that they can experience this new way of doing things and get results from that, that like that's not an option. So like we have to flip that too, right? I think like even if, and it'd be kind of interesting to talk about this too. Like there are some agents listening right now who are so busy with real estate right now that they don't even have time to think about like extra marketing because they're like, whoa, I can't even hardly handle what I've got. But there's other agents who are listening who are like, I would give anything for a client right now. So let's talk to that category first. If there are agents listening who are like, what I would give to have like 1 or 2 sales this summer, what are things that she could do, like starting today and all summer long, that could get her in front of more people, build deeper connections, and get more referrals?
I want you to pick something local and I want you to pick something social once a week. So
I love that
they could be
plan.
one and the same, but like local could be, and this is actually, this like ties back to your life that you're living. So like
Mhm,
maybe you want to have like a tradition. Every Monday I work at that coffee shop for 1 hour, or every Friday we get pizza from this place, or we go have a picnic by the lake,
mhm,
or we go to this park, we get ice cream here. Like pick one local thing and repeat it every week. Now, maybe there's a week that it doesn't work, but really try to repeat it. Obviously, while you're doing that, document it. Like
mhm.
take a video clip, take some pictures, keep it simple. You can turn that into content. It can be in your stories. If you make it a weekly thing and you say that, like we do all the time, but like a weekly coffee date, me and Mark and Henry. And I haven't done it for like 3 weeks because we were traveling and we got home and we're busy. Like, I guarantee no one notices, but if I do it again on Friday, it'll be like, "Yeah, there it is again." You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like, so you can skip some, but, like, it just becomes something it's a default in a good way, and it's easy to do because it's just on repeat. It's autopilot. The social thing is a little bit different. When I say social, it could be a local event, but it could also be start a book club, start a play date group, and on a Thursday morning, start a maybe it's even like a business focus and you want to get together with other local businesses. Like you want to do like a work from home happy hour, whatever. I don't know. Start something social. Ask one friend, tell that friend to ask a friend, tell that friend to ask a friend. You have 4 people. It will
yep,
grow from there, right? Document it when you do it. Like there is no like we're going to present real estate today or I'm going to tell you give you a PowerPoint of like all my listings. Like, we don't ever want to do that. We leave real estate comes naturally because as you document those things, people start to follow along. They start to see you and they know you're a real estate agent, right?
yep.
In addition to that, you could do some type of a weekly recap, photo dump, anything that has to do with that content some more, where you're taking all 3 ingredients and mixing them together to create a post and then come up with your like repeated hook. So, like, real estate girl summer in this city name, here's
Mhm.
everything I did. Something like
Yeah,
that. Put that into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever and say, give me 30 versions of this hook and
yeah,
make it more this, make it more warm and fuzzy, make it more elevated luxury, make it like tell it what you the vibe you want. And then you'll come up with your angle and then that's your post for the week every week. We don't need to post every day. We need
no.
to show up consistently so people connect with us, have conversations with us. You build community around it and then they convert into referrals and clients. We don't need cold leads from the internet, you guys. You don't need cold leads.
No. Okay, what if we are super busy with clients right now and we're like, dude, I can't even think about trying to post a reel or customize a piece of content. What would you have them do?
Don't post a reel. What I would do is pick a day of the week, pick Wednesday at 4 o'clock and have your alarm go off. and if you happen to be, I don't care where you are, but like, let's say you're
Not
in your
AM, by
car.
the way, PM, not at
4
4 AM.
4 PM, or
We're not
have it
doing
be
that.
like if you get in your car and go to an office every day or whatever, pick a time or pick like, "When I'm in the car, I'm gonna do this," and quick get on your camera and share a question someone asked you and how you answered it, or share the payoff to
Yeah,
homeownership and what that does for someone, the payoff to investing in real estate and what that does for someone, the payoff to moving to this city and what that does for someone. Pick a payoff that has to do with your job. So, like, why would this neighborhood be a good payoff? Maybe you have a listing there, so you're gonna lean into
yeah,
that week, and the next week it could be the payoff of making the move now and not waiting for blank to happen, and you go with that, and you just talk as if you were sitting down for coffee with a client or with a friend, sorry, not a client. Sitting down for coffee with a friend, and you share exactly what you would tell them regarding that topic, regarding that payoff. Is there what el I feel like we could go deeper on that. What else do you have?
yeah, I mean, well, what I like about that is it sounds like, "Ooh, that's a lot," but that's like 1 minute of your day. Like, you don't have to talk forever. You don't It doesn't have to be a 10-story slide series. It's just a matter of like, "Hey, this is what people are asking. This is what these are people are saying. Like, here's my thought on it." You could also, like what you said earlier about like a photo dump thing, it's like a weekly photo dump of whatever you're up to. And then as you go throughout your week, yes, you're not thinking constantly like content, 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 but you're just like snapping a little photo or a little video, whether that is of you working on the MLS on the porch, or if your kids found a frog, or if you are going out for dinner somewhere with your husband, or if you are just on a drive and you pass the lake or whatever. Like, just like take those little photos. And then at the end of the week, be like, proof I lived this week, or like everything I loved about city name this week or whatever. And then like there'll be a little bit of real estate in there, some local, some personal stuff, like easy. And no Canva, by the way. You can literally, like, if you want to add text to it, you can just do that straight in Instagram if you want. You can add some fun, like on brand audio, and then you're good to go. Like, you will stay top of mind and spark conversations just by doing that.
I love proof of life, especially if you're so busy. A long time ago in the membership, I did a photo a day challenge. I forgot what I called it. It was like take a photo and a video clip to build up your content library of local, of behind the scenes of you, your personality splash. And honestly, that would be such a good thing to do. It's not there anymore, but rather than like I gave the prompt of what to take the photo of, but what
Mhm.
you could do is just like what you just said, Kayla, just set an alarm for the same time every day and snap a quick photo or have it be
Yeah.
a reminder. So like if you know, okay, we're going to the lake today after I show houses, I'm going to take a quick photo of
Yeah.
that or of the front seat of your car. You can even get like funny with this. So like one of the women who was attending camp, she made a comment like, if I actually documented what I was doing, I'd be wearing coveralls in my barn
Yeah.
while feeding the animals or whatever. I was like, that would be great content. Like
Mhm.
your daily dose of your realtor in coveralls before she sells houses for the day or
Yep.
whatever. Like you have to just lean into the life. There is no like, you don't need to detach the two content life. You have one of the best jobs ever to do this. Like way more easy than so many to be
Yeah.
able to do this and build this brand as an agent. Like even if you're not showing a lot of houses or maybe you have a showing assistant so you don't even show houses. The house isn't really the point of the content. The house, like, is a part of your story, but, like, you could have a real estate brand and never show a single house on your entire account if you wanted, because you can still talk about real estate. Like, look at Gary Vee, Mel Robbins, like, Tony Robbins, all those people. Look at their accounts. There is no curated content on there. It is them talking. It is clips from their podcast, them talking face to camera, maybe a carousel with the same photo over and over and over with whatever they wanted to say. Like they each have their own industry of things, but it's not like
Yeah.
they're displaying the icon of like
Right.
motivational speaker or
Yeah.
being an author. Like it's not like they have a book emoji and you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
we like put ourselves in this real estate box
Yeah.
because of the industry we're in, because that's what everyone else does, but like we don't want to be everyone else.
Yeah.
You want to be the neon pink in the sea of gray.
Yeah.
If you want people to be like, yeah, that's the one you call, like call my friend.
Yep.
She's gonna take care of everything for you, right? And do we have to use social media to do that? You don't have to, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier, and it like rapidly accelerates how fast it happens
Yeah.
and how many people you can reach at once. Because there is no other tool on the planet that lets you reach that many people at one time by simply doing one thing. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
1 minute, but you're worried about like, I remember some of the busiest summers of my life are when I was a real estate agent, and some of them were miserable, you guys. Like some of them are why we are here today because it was like I'm not doing it that way anymore. But honestly, like I recently saw this post and this agent said like how I had 8 closings in April. And I read through what she did and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had 8 closings several times in a month and I never did any of that stuff because
Mhm.
I had built a brand that people remembered and trusted and people I just got referrals.
Right.
I wasn't DMing 15 people and following 50 accounts a day and like there are strategies if you go to the internet, to the Instagram and you're looking, you will find frameworks or like here's the list of 50 things you have to host 3 events a summer, DM 50 locals a day, follow 50 people on Facebook, join 6 Facebook groups, comment in all of them, send 14 email like people are trying to give you a framework because they want you to pay for the framework. Like, you
Yep.
know what I mean? Like, and I'm just sitting here consuming this type of content and I'm like, no one has to do this stuff. Like,
No.
you don't have to do
It's
this stuff.
so
And if you
outdated.
it is. And if you are super busy as an agent, like you still can benefit from a brand because maybe you'd be less busy if you could sell higher priced homes and sell less of them or go more niche into your own community and stop driving so far. Or
Yeah.
like there's always a way to improve
Yeah.
where you're at. Not that we always have to be chasing something, but as like, as a business, as even like as my real estate business grew every year improved. As my business right now grows every year gets better. Or every year is like stronger, or the brand is
Yep.
stronger, or we have better ways of doing things. Technology is improving. Like, so like as an agent, even if you are really busy, it's not that we're not saying burn it all down. Your business is terrible, but it's like maybe there are a few things you could do, like simple shifts that would make it not so busy or not
Right.
so draining or not so hard.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's all about like the life that you want to live, and there's always room for improvement and just like taking ownership of that, like we need to really take advantage of the fact that we're not working these 9 to 5s, that we don't have a boss breathing down our neck telling us what to do, but like we actually have the ability to build the business that we want. And we need to control the narrative there. And a personal brand lets you do that because it's curated and it's yours and no one else's, and you get the business that you want. If you want more episodes like this, we have episode 24 from last summer. It was called Turn Instagram into a Referral Magnet this summer. That was one of our most downloaded episodes. And that could be a really good one for you to listen to as well, just to kind of, first of all, stay in the summer mode and like get excited about it, but also kind of hear like, how can you really leverage this season of your life to continue, like what Chelsea said, to continue to connect with the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time in the deepest possible way. And that's through personal branding on social media.
I have one more thing that I had written down actually, and I never brought it up because this is a huge one. Email.
Oh, yeah.
Send a weekly email. If anything, do the weekly email. And you can kind of follow the same method of what we were saying with a week in your life style content of like what you did this week or like where I went or proof of life. Like it could kind of like pull one or two of those things and make that your email, right? Have a
Hmm.
little splash of real estate, a little splash of real life, and a little splash of local. And
Yeah.
now you're staying in front of everyone in your database all summer. 12, like if there's 12 weeks in the summer, you are in front of them every single week for the next 12 weeks. And yes, there are strategies you can weave into that, like check out my newest listing or like, do you want to get on a home search? Like in a better way than that of saying it. But there are strategies you can weave into those, which is why email is so cool. You can also drive them back to your social media. You can like, it's your way of taking like, this is exactly what I want them to know.
Yes.
Not everyone opens it, but like they're going to see your name in their inbox. And if you can say, like, this is exactly what I want them to know. I want them to know this question I got asked from a client because I think everyone should know the answer I gave. I want
Yep.
them to know about my favorite local event because everyone local should know about it. And here's this picture of me and my family there. And then here is the book I'm reading on my porch when I'm done showing houses. And I also love this glass of wine from the local winery. Like,
Yes.
that is such a powerful email. That's all you really need. And that will keep you top of mind for the summer. So like,
Yep.
let's recap Marketing Girl Summer, just a few things they can do. So like, send a weekly email, take a photo a day, set an alarm, and pick a day in your calendar every week, like a repeated day. Like I'm doing this every Wednesday, and go face to cam. It could be a story. Start with a story, turn it into a reel. Be
Yeah.
mindful what you say right when you hit record so that it makes sense for a reel. Like don't be like, so last week,
Hey
my cat,
guys.
blah, blah, blah. Like just start it, like give them a little hook.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this is why my cat running away, what my cat running away taught me about buying a house. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Kayla told a story about her cat getting lost, and now that's in my head.
I did.
You didn't tell it bad though. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
hook
I
'em.
think you're like, just if you're gonna share a story about a cat, don't do it the way Kayla did.
No, that's not what I mean at all. Kayla told the story that was so good during camp, but we're gonna save it for another episode because I
We
feel
can
like we're
save
running
it.
out of
I'm just
time.
bummed that I didn't get a chance to hit the drum joke button again, so that it was like,
Oh man, yeah, that would be
I
fun.
know. Next time, I'll get better at these sound effects, guys.
Adrian's gonna be like, "What is going on?"
What is even happening? Exactly.
Okay,
But also like doing something local, doing something social, like have fun. The biggest key to all of this is really documenting. If you can document what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're going to do with it yet, you will be able to twist it around, use it multiple times, and have marketing without it sucking up all your time or energy this summer, because both of those things are very precious. This was so fun. I love summer. I'm the happiest in the summer. Our birthdays are both in the summer, right? Aren't you June? I'm July. Summer's the best.
my
And we've got
birthday
a lot
is
of fun
this
things.
weekend. I
Oh,
think.
it's this weekend?
Well,
I
like
think.
when people are when you're listening to this, I believe my birthday is this weekend. At the
That's
time
right.
of the recording, it's not this weekend.
Is it June 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this come
I
out
remembered.
June 2nd?
This will come out, June 2nd.
Yeah.
So
So my
there you
birthday is
go.
this week. Oh gosh,
Happy
I could have gone a
birthday,
whole different
Chelsea!
direction.
Happy birthday! Yay! All right, guys. Obviously, this is our cue to be done, but we love you all so much.
We are not taking a summer break, so we will see you next Tuesday and have a happy Marketing Girl summer. Bye, guys. I'm so glad we got to hang out today. If you're as sad as I am that our time is up, I've got good news. There are a couple of different ways we can keep the conversation going.
First, follow us on Instagram at Modern Agent Marketing Girls and introduce yourself in the DMs. Also, we always have a free Modern Agent resource available, so check out today's show notes for the goods.
And finally, hang out with other go-to real estate girls like you and finally create a marketing plan that works when you join Modern Agent Social Club. All the details are in today's notes.
XOXO, the Marketing Girls.